we are the strongest in the sense that we are a 100% Muslim country.
Correct.
And we have the infrastructure required to take Islamic finance to the next level.
Yeah.
In Malaysia, we have Sadaqah House of
Yes.
Bank Islam.
Correct.
So the whole idea was University Islam Selangor was appointed as the main researcher to come up with the implementation of Sadaqah House in the context of Maldives.
Correct.
But the criticism we faced the moment we introduced the halal logo was people were saying, fish, you are introducing this for fish.
Halal for fish.
Isn't fish already halal? Do you need a certificate? But of course, when we went deep into what it is all about,
The real operation.
it's about the ingredients. When you
Ingredients.
process it, you have to have a halal way mechanism to do that.
Yes, yes.
And we didn't stop there by introducing the halal logo itself, but also we cross-certified it from Jakim and MUIS Singapore as well.
Yes. Welcome back to session 2 of ASAS, a very ASAS podcast with Professor Aisha Muneeza, a tall, very strong contributor in the development of Islamic finance in Maldives since early 2000 until now. You have shared with us your contribution in developing or involving hands-on. You're not talking about consultant or what, you are hands-on. You were the person who drive the regulation. You're the person who even involved in the real operation, and also to the success story of certain sectors of Islamic finance. So now we are in 2025, and you are not in Maldives full time. You are everywhere. I saw you from time to time. You are in Europe. You are in Africa. You are in Middle East. Even in Malaysia also, either you give lecture or you write articles. You share with me article, I think almost every 2 weeks. What happened in Maldives and where is Maldives Islamic finance now, and how then ASAS and ASAS members can come in and support Maldives?
I think now in the Maldives, Islamic finance has flourished very well in the sense that we don't talk about products and services anymore.
Yes.
We have passed that stage because couple of years back, if you ask about our Maldivian Islamic banking and finance industry, people would talk about what type of products we can introduce, what types of services we can introduce.
Yeah.
But right now we are at the stage where we want to have proper Sharia governance system implemented in the country itself, whether it is capital markets or banking or takaful itself.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Sharia governance system, of course, ASAS can play a complementary role, especially giving proper training to our Sharia scholars, as well as Sharia officers and anybody working in the Sharia control functions. I believe that that is what we need in the Maldives currently in order to take Islamic finance to the next level. Because without proper Sharia governance, we will go nowhere.
Yeah.
And if we want to maintain the confidence of public, we have to have a proper Sharia governance mechanism in place. Now, if we look at the regulatory developments, recently in 2022, MMA has come up with the Sharia governance framework, just like the Sharia governance framework of Malaysia, the previous one before SGPD.
Yeah.
Now, we have introduced the Sharia non-compliance reporting mechanisms and things like that. But the hiccup we face currently is that our Sharia committee members, including the Sharia compliance officers, they lack the capacity, the technical capacity required to detect what is potential Sharia non-compliance issues, and how do we deliberate on to reach whether it is actual Sharia non-compliance issues or not. So I think we have reached to a level that we need proper education and training given to our stakeholders so that they are ready to accept and implement the new Sharia governance framework in the
Okay.
country.
Okay.
At the same time, we also need proper regulations and legislations as well.
Yeah.
Because if we look at Islamic banking, we have only Islamic Banking Regulation 2011 still, which
Okay.
basically follows the Islamic Banking Act of
Means Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Hmm.
But we need something more sophisticated like IFSA
Yeah. Yeah.
in our country as well, which will cover 360 degrees of Islamic
Yes.
finance as well.
Yeah.
If we look at Thaqaful, even though the institutions are there, products are there, we don't have the enabling legislative
Yes,
framework.
okay.
We don't even have a separate Thaqaful law in the country, even a regulation.
Okay.
And up until now, the full-fledged Thaqaful operator is operating under a conventional license.
Okay.
And their mandatory deposits are kept in Sharia non-compliant way.
Okay,
Every
understand.
time we do Sharia screening, they have tainted
Yes. Yes.
income,
Could be a lot.
which should be given to charity.
Yeah.
And now they have started family Thaqaful, which means that they have to increase this mandatory reserve amount.
Yes.
And now the amount will increase again,
Correct.
the tainted
Yes.
revenue.
Yes.
So we need solutions for this. And for non-banking financial sector also, we don't have any laws. So I believe that in order to take Islamic finance to the next level,
Yeah.
we need education and awareness, especially about how in sophisticated jurisdictions, how Islamic banking and finance
Yeah.
are regulated is something which we can teach in our jurisdiction, and ASAS could play a very imperative role because if we look at the ASAS modules, it doesn't cover only Sharia aspects,
Yes.
even the operational aspects and the complementary knowledge that is required to take Islamic finance to the next level in countries are already embedded.
Yes.
So I believe that in our country, in the Maldives, it's very, very important that we have the presence of ASAS,
Yeah.
so that not only the Sharia scholars, but even the practitioners
Yeah.
could benefit
Professionals,
from it.
yeah.
Yes.
As you are, as you are rightly said, you are part of the original developer of ASAS, CSA CSP program. You were the trainer, and humbly you went into classes. You took exam and you graduated
Yes.
in the first batch of our
It's a very good experience.
conferment. It was tough for me to have you in the classes as well. Tough for the trainer as well. But we also noticed that with the strength that Maldives has, with the support from the government that Maldives have, the people surrounding, I think the awareness. Do you think Maldives can become the hub of that continent for Islamic finance?
I believe so, because starting from 2016, government has formally acknowledged that we should become the hub for Islamic finance in the South Asian region.
Yes.
Because in our region, we are the strongest in the sense that we are a 100% Muslim country.
Correct.
And we have the infrastructure required to take Islamic finance to the next level.
Yeah.
But what we are lacking is the organized coordination with other countries in the region who could be helped.
Okay.
But if you look at, for example, how the Maldivian scholars are playing role in the region, we are helping, for example, Sri Lanka to come up with their sukuk as well.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Sri Lanka is the one who brought Islamic finance, the first form,
Yes.
to the Maldives as
Maldives.
well.
Yeah.
So I believe that if there's proper coordination through the SARC, the association that we have created for the region, we would be in a position to advocate for Islamic finance in the region, and we could be acknowledged as the hub for Islamic finance as well, because we have the infrastructure required for Islamic finance.
Yeah. Because looking at the position, I think everybody wanted to go to Maldives for multiple reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, I went there once. I plan to go there again. It's very peaceful country. People are nice, food are no problem. Safe. I think when it comes to services as well, the model could be similar as other offshore jurisdictions.
Yes.
You don't have to have factory or blue collar services, but you have professional services
Yes.
station in Maldives. So, in the light of your experience developing Maldives in 2011 until now, Do you think other countries should follow the same step, or can some country, for example, now we are talking, I have a meeting with people from Bangsamoro. They're talking about developing Islamic finance also in Mindanao. Do you think that other country who wanted to step up their Islamic finance can do better and can do faster than Malaysia, or maybe than Maldives in the current situation?
Yes, because they don't have to reinvent the wheel again, right?
Yeah,
They have experienced countries out there from which they can learn,
yeah,
right? So I believe that in the case of the Maldives, what other countries can learn is we don't have to wait for the legislations to come into place.
correct.
We don't have to really come up with a proper infrastructure.
Mm.
We can first come up with the instruments
Okay.
and then work on the legislations as well.
Okay.
But if you look at the Malaysian example, the legislations and everything came together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the direction came from the top as well.
Yes. Mm.
So I believe that Malaysia is a good example if there is government support and government will.
Yeah.
And Maldives is a good example for those countries where from the grassroots, if they want to drive Islamic finance.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the current developments of Islamic finance in the Maldives,
Yes.
I should acknowledge the efforts of the current governor
Governance.
of Maldives Monetary Authority,
Yes.
His Excellency Ahmad Munawar,
Yeah.
who has recently actually established Maldives Council, which is a council dedicated to drive Islamic finance at a strategic level.
It's like MIFC.
Yes,
Yeah.
similar to that
Yeah.
at MMA, so
Yeah.
that the proper advice to do that will be received by the governor from time to time,
Oh.
and we can strategize Maldives as the hub for Islamic
Okay.
finance in South Asia as well.
Excellent.
And he has also come up with the initiative to merge Islamic commercial finance and Islamic social finance. We have come up with a strategy which is called Maldives Islamic Social Finance Initiative,
Mm.
whereby all the banks which are offering Islamic finance in the country are supposed to come up with Islamic social finance products
Oh.
as well.
We try BBI, BBIT,
Yes.
and sustainability, and now Maldives. It took Malaysia about 45 years to have that, and Maldives,
Yes.
faster on that route.
We are faster, but if you hear out the story how we came up with this initiative, it's also very interesting. Actually, the idea was quite simple. In Malaysia, we have Sadaqah House of
Yes.
Bank Islam.
Correct.
So the whole idea was University Islam Selangor was appointed as the main researcher to come up with the implementation of Sadaqah House in the context of Maldives.
Correct.
So this was a research project given by Maldives Monetary Authority to UIS.
Okay.
So Dr. Latifa, the Vice Chancellor, was heading
Yeah.
this particular project, and I was one of the co-researchers as a Maldivian Islamic finance expert.
Okay.
So we went to the field to understand how easy or difficult the task was.
Mm.
So our main idea was just to come up with a Sadaqah house in the context of the Maldives.
Yes.
It was very simple. We went to the field and we started bringing stakeholders, interviewing them, collecting data to find out that when we call Sadaqah in the Maldives, it overlaps with the jurisdiction of an executive body, which is Ministry of Islamic Affairs, who is supposed to deal with social finance matters,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So Sadaqah is a well-known matter. And they also have established recently Maldives Zakat House.
Okay.
And the minister's opinion is that even Sadaqah should be included under Zakat House.
Okay.
And there will be conflict in our jurisdiction if we call Sadaqah House and put it under a bank.
Correct.
Simply because of the terminology used, even though it is about social finance.
Correct.
So that's why we couldn't call it Sadaqah House in the context of Maldives. We had to change the name. So then we thought we can call it Ihsan, Benevolence, something like that.
Yeah.
But then the name had objection because one of our political appointees' name is Ihsan. So
Okay.
people might even have the
Misunderstood.
yes.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do it, and finally we came up with the Maldives Islamic Social Finance MISFI initiative,
Okay.
and the president of the Maldives launched it.
Okay.
And it is an initiative which is given very much paramount consideration to. And I believe that this would be a strategy if implemented correctly.
Yeah.
The common people can benefit from it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are striving to do things by following Malaysia, but customizing it. And to an extent, we are being successful as well. So I would say another advocate in our industry currently is our Islamic minister, Dr. Shahim, who is also driving Islamic social finance to the next level. As we speak, currently our parliament is deliberating on our zakat bill. For the very first time, we are going to, inshallah, have a zakat law in the country, making at least zakat something compulsory, or zakat will be treated as same level as tax in the country, which is very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you look at his contribution, he has modernized Waqf law.
Yeah.
When I was his deputy minister in the Ministry of Religious Affairs,
Yeah.
I was given the opportunity to work with him to come up with, for example, the first Awqaf project that will generate revenue to our cash Waqf funds, which we use for religious awareness and also renovation of mosques. So we had a building built for the very first time, and we channeled the revenue received from the rental proceeds to these Waqf funds. And we were also able to introduce for the very first time in the country the halal certification. But the criticism we faced the moment we introduced the halal logo was people were saying, fish, you are introducing this for fish.
Halal for fish.
Isn't fish already halal? Do you need a certificate? But of course, when we went deep into what it is all about,
The real operation.
it's about the ingredients. When you process it, you have to have a halal way mechanism to do that.
Yes. Yes.
And we didn't stop there by introducing the halal logo itself, but also we cross-certified it from Jakim and Muiz Singapore as well.
Yes.
So that at least our halal logo will carry some weight. And we also came up with like modern zakat systems, for example, coming up with different interpretations to use to expand the scope of asnaf so that more people can benefit from it. So I would say that with these types of individuals driving Islamic finance in our society, there is still hope that we can reach to the skies.
Inshallah. But as I mentioned earlier, Bank Islam was established in 1983.
Yes.
I think Sadaqah House was established somewhere in 2014.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Almost with VBI, right?
Yeah, 2023, 2024.
I'm not sure about the
year.
year.
But it was recently,
somewhere around that.
2-3 years ago. After how many years? But in Maldives, when you start your operation, you patch the social finance, you patch the other components straight away. That help Maldives to go faster.
Yeah, because it took so long for Malaysia to experiment and become successful. We learned from Malaysia, so we should be faster, right?
Of course. A lot of people saying that they wanted to follow Malaysia.
Yes.
So I told them, Malaysia, in that sense, we are a bit old.
Yes.
You know, we've been punched, we've been hit, we've been knocked down many times. But we stood up and now we stand tall on certain areas.
Yes.
But we need to learn from other countries that, for example, those who started Islamic finance post-COVID.
Yes.
Those countries who started Islamic finance with straight away digital banking or digital takaful rather than the brick and mortar kind of operation. We stop here on our second part, talking about the success story and where Maldives is now. So the third session of our discussion, we will talk about the advice that you can share to a new country that wanted to go on Islamic finance. And of course, there are excuses, as you rightly pointed out, that I cannot move because I don't have the legislation. I cannot move because the legislation is not announced yet. In fact, we are 38 million Muslim country, 38 million population with 95% Muslim or 90% Muslim for that matter. I don't think that is just a valid delay excuse while not working on the system, on the product that you have said. So stay tuned for our third session of Very ASAS with Prof. Dr. Aisha Muneeza, and we will talk about the advice or the input that other country, other jurisdiction can consider in order to step up their Islamic finance development and progress. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you. Welcome back to the third session of Very Asas with Professor Aisha Muneeza, a very influential person in the development of Islamic finance in Maldives. And now she contributed a lot in the research as well as her presence in Africa and also in Middle East. So, Prof. Aisha, we know that at the moment, there are about 80 countries, including Malaysia, Maldives, Brunei, Indonesia, that already have an Islamic finance present. But the level of their presence are different. Some are advanced, some are startup, some are due to political changes. Now they have to revise, redo, and wake up again. The normal delay, or I'm not going to use the word excuse. The normal nice or kind reason that people will say that we can't move because we don't have the regulation announced. We can't move because we are not clear about the regulation. Despite the majority of the population are Muslim. What's your advice to them?
I think the advice is simple. You have to find your own way to move forward. Nobody else can show you the way.
Yeah.
So what will work for the case of Maldives might not work in that particular jurisdiction.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
For example, we wanted to start a sukuk, corporate sukuk market in Sri Lanka. And also we wanted to issue a sukuk in one of the biggest banks in Tanzania.
Yeah.
We couldn't find out with a ready-made sukuk structure that they could use, even though we have so many sukuks issued in the world.
Yes.
So we can't replicate what is out there. We have to customize it according to our need.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that we have to come up with the ideal legal, regulatory governance framework when we start it.
Okay.
So my advice would be, don't wait for the right framework or right product.
Okay.
You will determine what is right for you.
Yeah.
You will know what is the right type of products and right shape of the product or structure of the product. And if that particular product, even though it is not used in any other part of the world,
Be the first one.
yes, yes, don't be shy or afraid to be the first to use it.
Yeah.
People will criticize. Of course, whenever
Okay.
we want to do something good, the first thing will be criticism.
Yeah.
And we still have to make our point and move forward. So I
Correct.
think determination is also very, very important.
Yeah.
And being passionate about driving it forward is also very important. It's
Okay.
not about only the legal framework
Okay.
or the knowledge sometimes.
What about the readiness of the ummah of the public? They know the impact of riba. They know the impact of impact of traditional or conventional finance to them. If you come in as an alternative financial services or products or alternative system, do you think the take up would be better, supported by available references, available research work in current years?
Unfortunately, just because a product is riba free,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that there will be demand for it automatically,
correct.
right?
Yes,
So if you want to have quality products
yes.
and if you want more people to subscribe to those products, we have to make it riba free plus something attractive
Okay,
to the market.
okay.
So we can't neglect any of those.
Yeah,
Provided that we come up with a very lucrative product
Yeah.
that will be demanded by the public based on their needs,
yeah.
then only a product will be successful, no matter where it is issued.
Okay,
So I believe that understanding the market appetite, their needs is very, very important. Just because we call it Islamic, unfortunately,
it's not the only
yes,
excuse.
factor that will show its demand.
The other excuses, or I would say the other uh, request that ASAS used to receive is that there are particular scholars, imam or religious leaders in their country are the one who influence or are the one who say that Islamic finance is not real Islamic. Islamic finance must follow the traditional muamalat contract and everything. So the modern commercial bankers, Islamic finance player, always have a problem to face these scholars. What would be your take up or the way to handle this situation?
Being 100% Muslim country, we also face the same issue.
Okay.
So what did we do? We just brought them, had informal sessions to have coffee or lunch. We give them awareness. We tell them what we do. And we influence their minds in a positive way by showing examples and making them understand the operational aspect of it.
Okay.
Because normally this happens because of the misconception. They've never been to a financial institution, whether conventional or Islamic.
Even, yeah.
Yes, and they have this misconception that the moment profit is charged, then it is not something acceptable in Islam.
It's riba.
Yes. So because of that perception, things become a bit difficult for them to understand. But Alhamdulillah, once we explain to them the operational aspect, they can accept it and they acknowledge it.
Okay.
So that is how we also changed the perception of those ulama who were in our market who needed such awareness.
Okay.
So I think that works. It's not only one session we have to have, continuously we have to put the effort.
Okay.
And we have to also invite them to come and have dialogue. Maybe panel discussions, so that at least they can put their perspective and there could be someone else to counter them and provide some kind of basic information to public. So a lot of awareness activities needs to be done. A lot of convincing needs to be done. And these things, we have to go to the root cause actually. The root cause is that they've never been involved in financial institutions operations. So I think it's fair for them as well to have their own view, and we have to ensure that what we are doing is also conveyed to them.
Of course. And as you know, ASAS will not only focusing on the the scholars.
Yes.
We are doing the cross breeding program through our CSA CSP.
Yes.
We teach the accountant, the lawyers, the economists about muamalat, and we teach the scholars about the technical part.
Yes.
So we also believe that we need to get the concert of support
Yes.
surrounding the scholars. Sometimes maybe some scholars will have some confidence to certain lawyers. Some scholars will have more confidence to certain accountant or auditors
True.
that can deliberate the calculation to them, rather than the bankers who come in and tell
Yes.
about the product. So ASAS will continue to do that with your support and your doa as ASAS Exco and your guidance in the policy making. Hopefully we can continue uh, to expand our coverage and our focus towards the wider professionalism of Islamic finance ecosystem, and
Inshallah.
hopefully with the tall order or the tall inclusion of ASAS in financial sector blueprint of Bank Negara for 2022-2026. I think we working together with IFIM and INSEF. I think we are ready to reach out Asia and also OIC country. So thank you very much for your time. I know we only cover about a third of your journey, and we hope we can have another session with you to tell about your experience in Africa, in Middle East, the challenges being the female scholars among the male scholars, you know, talking about very sensitive areas. I think we should call you for a second session.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me. It's a very good discussion, I believe, and I hope the listeners also will benefit from this session.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us at Very Asas Podcast, special new office, new studio with our first ever Asas International Exco, Professor Dr. Aisha Muneeza. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you.